Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome to episode 9 of Let's Build an Adventure Map. For those of you who may be new since the music video and are therefore unfamiliar, basically what's going down is that both myself as well as the wonderful gentleman over on the VoxelBox Minecraft server are working on putting together an adventure map. And I should actually mention that over the past couple of weeks, it has been mostly them working on putting together an adventure map because I decided to dedicate most of my time to finishing up the music video. However, in the process, we're documenting some of the stuff that goes into it, and in the end, we'll release it to all of you to hopefully play and enjoy and love and cherish until Half-Life 3. That is precisely the plan. But today, I'll be taking a look at kind of a nifty way to set up, I guess I'll call them booby traps, because that's sort of what they are. So at this point, I'm sure most of you are well familiar with the fact that you're able to divert the flow of water with a block update. So say we dig down 2 blocks here, set down a square of water, and it'll flow in one direction here, but it'll only stay that way until you actually update surrounding blocks. So if we place a block of stone right here, well, the water will flow in the opposite direction. Now, it also works with things like levers and or redstone, because the way redstone actually works is it has a particle effect that activates when you right-click it or walk on it or jump on it, and that can also be used to divert the flow of water. Now, it's widely known as well that you can use this to activate some sort of redstone circuit, like so, by, say, destroying a redstone torch or something of the sort, and the door will open. The problem is that that's always been a one-time use, and that if you want to, say, set it up so it works multiple times, well, every time you want to do it, it requires a manual reset, and you have to make the water go back into its initial place, you have to set up the torch again, the wire, yada yada yada, until, well, it's all set up once again. But that is where this new creation comes in. I was browsing the Minecraft section on Reddit the other day, and I stumbled upon a link to a video by a man, I think he goes by the YouTube handle Ethos Lab, and it was titled The Block Update Detector, and it's really ingenious. And I'll actually link his original video in the description, because if you don't quite understand how it works after this video, I'm sure as the creator he will do a much better job explaining it. So that's there, and the way it works is basically it's that same sort of water redirection system, except it is self-resetting. So if we flip the switch, you'll notice that the door opens for a second, and then everything resets back to the way it was beforehand. So the boat, by default, is sitting on this little wooden pressure plate, and that is hooked up to an inverter that you can't actually see. It's just a torch hooked up right under there that you can see now. And every time the water goes down, it lifts up the boat off of that pressure plate, inverting the system, outputting a current to the door, which will flip it open, as well as extending both of these pistons with a little bit of delay on the bottom one, and that resets the water to the way it was initially. And then you have this whole self-resetting system that can output a redstone signal from a block update. So very, very nifty invention, Ethos Lab. It is wonderful, and I thought I'd actually go ahead and hook it up to a couple of booby trap systems, and who knows, you may see some of these in the map. We shall see. So the first thing I did was go and set up this hallway, which looks very inconspicuous. Nothing too shady about it. I assure you that these 2 pressure plates here do absolutely nothing but activate the door. But then we go through, oh, look at these redstone things going here. Let's try to walk through the rest of the... Oh my god, we fell into lava. Okay, let's not die. Anyway, so let's go over how that's actually worked. One second, let me stop myself from dying here. Some water. Okay, so we have that whole system with the redstone set up. Let me stop myself from burning, and if we go in here, we'll see exactly how that works. So the redstone is actually set up right on the other side. You can sort of see it, hopefully in the video as well, right next to the water. And as soon as the particle update takes place, and it starts emitting those red sparks once you walk over it, the water will change its course from just dropping down into the 2-block hole that I'm sort of pointing at right now it'll lift up the boat, it'll activate this repeater, or it'll invert it, excuse me, and then it'll cause this whole line of redstone to deactivate, and there is another line that goes under as well to the other side. All on the same timing. It'll cause all the pistons to retract, causing you to fall into the lava that is below. So it actually is a booby trap that does not require you to hit any pressure plates and or buttons or levers. And if we actually go ahead and switch on over to the space texture pack, you'll notice that it looks a little bit more inconspicuous and that the redstone isn't quite as obvious as far as what it is, and you might mistake it for something else. I don't know. I've said too much. You already know the secrets. But there are obviously more things aside from redstone that you can hook it up to cause these block updates to take place. Now, I also went ahead and set up another system with, instead of a retracting floor, it's a retracting roof. It's sort of a proof of concept right now, because if you really want it to reset back to where it was initially, you'd need the walls to be lined up with pistons on the outside as well to squish out the lava once it's dropped. But as a proof of concept, basically once we walk through... Oh god, we're dying. Damn. So, I guess I have the portal mod still enabled, and I have a checkpoint set up. Let's go ahead and delete all that stuff in my inventory. And again, as of right now, as I said, there's no pistons lined up on either side to extend and get rid of all the lava, since lava, unlike water, will stay in place after it's dropped, even without a source block. But once again, take a look at the way that was set up. Again, we got the water going into the hole right here. And once the redstone updates into its particle effect entity value, it'll divert the water into the block update detector, and it'll lift up the boat. And this time we have it hooked up to an RS NOR latch so that it'll actually leave the pistons open long enough for some of the lava to make it through. And that is right here. This initializes the RS NOR latch, this repeater right here. These go through with a delay all the way over to the other side, and they finally deactivate it after a tidbit of time. And then the output from the RS NOR latch heads on up here, up to the roof, where this redstone is simply on top of a block attached to all the pistons. They will retract and let the lava pour through. Again, there needs to be a reset system for it to be fully functional, but as a proof of concept, again, that is how it all works. And now, another thing you can do is actually enable it with a bed update by sleeping in it, but unfortunately, it would seem that due to some of the mods I have active, beds sort of behave like a TNT cannon. Let me go ahead and show you, because it's kind of strange. So, yes, let's go ahead and sleep and see what sort of shenanigans take place after. But theoretically, I'm flying up into the air. Theoretically, you can actually use a bed to cause a block update to take place, and then from there you can cause something to happen while you're sleeping, and yeah, wake up to something wonderful, like being launched super high into the air. And see how long it takes to land back down. It's kind of weird. Let me actually go ahead and adjust the time so you can see what happens when I land. No idea why this is happening, but stay in the air for a long time. Anyway, that about does it for this video. Hopefully you found it somewhat informative, and once again, the original video for that block update detector by Mr. Ethos Lab you can find in the description. So if you want any more info on oh god, I finally hit the ground. That was shocking. If you want any more info on how it works or any more detail, you can watch it there. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.